This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
This is The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Crimean, and I don't like it when you cook the coconuts in with the rice. The texture goes all weird. Joining me to discuss Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels this week is Dr Queerbaiting, Michael McDermott. Michael is a TV producer whose fascination with queerbaiting and fandom led him to being published in a book with the very same name. Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels airs on 10 and 10 Play every Sunday to Tuesday, and I'll be recapping it each week with a special guest. Right. Michael McDermott, welcome to The Cringe is Real.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me
Oh, it's
in
so
person in the studio.
I know, it's good to have some face-to-face
Yeah.
action. It's been a while. What's got you cringing this week?
Well, so last night I was at the Fred Again concert.
Fred again.
Again and again because it was the
you
Wednesday
and all the
night
other cool faggots
underground
of Melbourne.
subculture. Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good segue.
So underground, he sold out 3 shows in Rod Laver. Yeah.
No one knows about it except me. But so as you say, every other faggot in Melbourne, I wish, and that's what's got me cringing, is straight events. I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
And I really think that, like, is this how women feel all the time? This is me just like last night discovering that women have.
So it was predominantly heterosexual. Actually, yeah, Fred again does have.
It was literally
bro vibes.
It was 99% het. A lot of women.
Oh really?
With
Okay.
their boyfriends.
Oh, okay. Some hot boyfriends.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't
EDM bro, not hot style.
It wasn't. Yeah, and they can't handle their drugs or alcohol because they're just.
It was a Wednesday night.
Oh, I mean, come on. Yeah. But they just were. They were bumping everywhere. It was, I don't know, when I'm surrounded by straight men, there's a level of like, this is boring, and also like an undertone of violence. You know what I mean? Like it's the two things I really don't want to be feeling at a concert. So straight events has got me cringing.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And there's a line where it's like, when you get a look, you're like, are they going to bash me or do they want to fuck?
Yes.
I kind of like that.
So
like I like living on the edge a little bit, like giving a little wink.
I can tell that about you. Yeah.
Yeah. You could get a slap, but you know,
it's not for me.
Ways.
It's not for me. I think I would rather just be at events where it's just girls, gays, and days.
Really?
I think. Yeah.
So you think we should just ban all straight events, or you just don't need to ban
I'm
them?
not saying ban them, but like death penalty maybe. Is that too much?
No, look, fair. Bring it back. Now, I need to ask you, speaking of gays and subcultures, you are an expert on queerbaiting.
Oh, I mean.
I need to ask you your thoughts on our good mate, JLP. Does he know what he's doing?
100% he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He is fully baiting you and you're falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it. I'm living for it. I'm a willing participant.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think at the beginning
it started as a bit of banter, didn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think they knew what they were doing. And then they realized that gay people exist or something. I'm not sure.
They did.
But then all of a sudden they were like, wow, this is a market. This is like, I think JLP loves the attention as well.
Fuck yeah.
When he's talking about
With
like
the guns
fondling
out.
balls, putting his guns out. Yeah.
I have a theory they made that pole challenge just so he could say 12 feet of pole. Like,
I think you're right.
What? And the ball, like, I think in the art department, they're like, all right, we need balls.
Yeah.
We need poles. Yeah.
We need JLP to be like basically topless. Yeah.
Next season it'll be like, you need to attach this like ball gag. Like you'll be doing the challenge, but you'll all be gagged during it. I'm like,
no, 100%. And also, I feel like rubbing baby oil all over his arms is not sun smart.
No, but
and that is what they do. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the expert, obviously.
Exactly.
I know baby oil when I see
he's got like a little bicep curl situation out the back as well.
There is a producer whose job is to just like bring JLP the weights in between takes, so his like arms are really veiny and popping.
It's very like Hugh Jackman levels of vein pop.
Yeah.
Which is what we need, and Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why the show's doing so well.
I'm not complaining.
On Twitter during the episodes, which is my favourite part of watching this show, I'm like, is anyone here straight? Every now and then I'll see a comment, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it'll have like 2 likes from like Russian bots or something.
It'll be something like, oh, Valeria, she's got like, she's pretty annoying, right? And all the guys are like, no, she's great.
You're wrong.
Shut up.
There's a consistent theme of, for some reason, every woman they just don't seem to like.
Oh, totally. Like, Kirby, she's a bit much.
There's just something
she's a bit
about
lippy.
her. Yeah. It's a bit like high school, high school girls. It's just like, something about her voice.
Have you been enjoying the season so
I
far?
have.
Yeah,
it's been a great season. Yeah. Like every episode has been the opposite of boring.
Yes.
Like we can talk about good gameplay, bad gameplay.
Yeah.
It's definitely memorable. It's definitely entertaining. It makes me feel lots of things. And I'm very engaged. And honestly, in my mind, every season of Survivor is a good Survivor season. Some are better than others, but they're all good. This one is great. I think that's a pretty easy consensus from amongst most people that this is a very good season.
What do you think's been making it great? Like the casting or just...
Yes, definitely the casting. The cast has been great. I also think that like someone like Kelly, who is insane, crazy character,
she was perfect.
One of a kind. But I love that she went just before merge because I in my head I saw her and I was like, if she lasts more than 2 episodes, like she's in the final 5.
Totally. It was so good to be like, thanks for the good time, Stoll. Now put mum to bed.
Yes.
Now we can play the real like the game.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it. Yeah, perfect.
And she's not going to be like, wrecking gameplay of other people. Like she's not stifling any really good strategy if she's not at the merge, which is great.
Yeah, you're right. Because if she was at merge now, it would just be like...
it would get old.
People would be trying to make plans and she'd be like...
yeah, just completely wreck them.
Not my Raymond!
No.
So good. Who are you rooting for?
Oh, I was rooting for Eileen.
Yeah.
She was my winner pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yay! Eileen,
Well, no, not yay.
Eileen. Yay that we love Eileen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devo.
No, I know this pod is a big fan of Eileen.
Yeah, but she's the queen of Jury Villa now.
I know.
Which is like a title. It's like Miss Congeniality. And she's already turning the looks.
I couldn't... she looked
right?
so hot. No, I couldn't think of anyone better to be the mayor / queen of Jury Villa.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And she'll be a great, often we hear this thing of the first person on the jury really sets the tone for the rest of the jurors because she's the first person that, Jaden will see, that Valeria, she can really tell them all right, so this is how you're going to think. And you just know that she's going to do well at that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a good welcoming committee, because she's got a fun, happy vibe. So the gay intern at Channel 10 must be on a fucking Atlantis cruise or something this week because the episode titles do not have titles this week. And I'm like,
true.
Hello. They just don't have them. I've looked everywhere. I've scoured the deepest, darkest crevices of Reddit.
I trust you.
There are no titles.
Okay, well then,
so episode
how are we going to have any fun?
I know, so maybe we could make them up as we go along.
Oh, episode
After
16,
we've recapped them, we could come up with a fun camp name.
Absolutely.
So episode 16 starts at the Tassie tribe, day 32. Caroline's got a tail between her legs and she comes back to Feras and she's like, oh, sorry, babe. How are you feeling about the Karens?
Oh, it's so funny. I loved watching Carolyn just grovel to Feras and Kitty grovel. It's so delicious to me.
It's great
to watch them just with their tail between their legs. I mean, I love them, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see them, in a bad position, but it was just a really delicious scene to me.
Yeah, I enjoy watching them kind of learning how to play the game on the fly because I feel like they want to do all this fun stuff, but they're not really thinking about the day after.
No.
They make these moves and they're like, oh, don't worry. Yes, Mark will be furious, but that's all right. He can deal. I'm like, babe, it's a game about relationships.
It's just no. And Carolyn is a big fan. Believe it or
really?
not. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she is. She's a big fan.
She won't be a big fan of this pod, I'll tell you that. But love you, babe.
I hope she's listening.
Me too.
She's probably not. But she's a big fan, so I can understand her sometimes thinking that, you know, the logic and the strategy will just win. It's funny, actually, now that I say that, because Carolyn, as we know, is like a very emotional player. Like, she feels things quite deeply and quite personally, but is still, obviously, as a fan, very focused on kind of just strategy and logic. Like, this is what I'm going to do.
She has influence. Every week I've been blown away, like, in an impressed sense, that she has so much influence. Because as a viewer, I'm like, this is just like a bossy white lady telling people what to do. And for me, I would be like, absolutely not. But everyone's rolling with it. I don't know. The Karens are crying, like, literally, in this opening scene. Do you remember this? They're like, like, Caroline starts and then Kitty starts. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, I'm kind of with them because I was also, like, so sad for Eden as well. Yeah. Like, he is clearly such a fan and was, you know, one away from the jury. And
I think he started strong. They gave him a lot of confessionals, like, that first week.
Yeah.
And then, like, something happened. I don't know. He pissed off one of the producers and they were like, cut him.
Cut that boring. No, I think it's because, like, in the swap, he was so, like, tied in with Mark and, you know, the V's and Carolyn and Kitty that, like, that story was kind of really told between Carolyn and Mark. So anytime they needed to tell that story, they just kind of went to people other than Eden. So
true. Yeah. He made me nervous watching him as well. Like, his gameplay was, like, he's fidgety and he was like, which is, probably what I would be like out there. So it's like, maybe that's why it's uncomfortable. Anyway, Aileen and Feras strategize. They feel betrayed by Kitty and Caroline because, you know, they were trying to jump on board that last vote. Feras pitches a secret alliance deal between him and Caroline and Kitty. And I'm like, no, mate,
so good.
don't do this. It would be cool if it happened, but they're not into it. Like, don't you think?
So, yes, but I also don't think they're into any alliance. I think this season is crazy. Like, how
is no one going for them? They're a strong two. Like, no one's gone, oh, that's a worry.
But because I think they've seen other alliances and duos be so fluid, like, the votes have always been kind of mixed up, you know? Like, Mark voted against the girls and girls voted against Mark, and then they're still working together. And it's just, I don't think anyone at the moment is seeing any kind of tight duo as a big threat, even though you're right, they absolutely should, particularly like Kirby and Ree, Carol and Kitty. But then we even see, you know...
Sun on Ray.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Bit of straight awkward editing here, because out of nowhere we get Kirby's apparent agenda to get rid of Aileen that she's always had, and I'm like, that news to me. Yeah, but okay.
I think it ties into her whole strategy of, like, and I don't know if this was, like, maybe super explained well, but clearly she thinks Kirby and Feras are these, you know, obviously big threats, and they kind of need each other as shields. You know, when one goes, I think in their mind, when one goes, the other is shortly to follow.
Okay.
So if they want to keep each other around, but also they know they're going to eventually get each other, I think Kirby's thinking, once that time comes, I want to have more power than Feras. And so she's going after, that's why she went after Garrick. You know, she was, you know, went after Aileen. Yeah. She wants to really weaken Feras so that when the time comes for the two of them to vote each other out, he hasn't got as much power as she does.
Okay, thank you for explaining that to me, because I literally was like, what? I just feel like this, from a storytelling perspective, up until now, yes, Kirby's been like this free agent kind of vibe, but also all of a sudden she has very strong feelings about Aileen, which we hadn't really been privy to before.
No, you're right. And I
they
think
needed to set it up in this episode for obvious reasons.
Yes,
but
I was definitely more distracted by how my sudden fear, the terror in my eyes when I thought Aileen was going.
Well, I knew as soon as they had that clip, I was like, she's gone.
She's gone. It was so clear that she was gone that by the time I got to Tribal, that I was like, maybe they're bluffing us. It was just so obvious because why are they? And then she went, and I was like, oh,
it was one of those.
That's fine. I'll just kill myself. Yeah.
The auction.
Yeah.
Fun. I would have loved a few more kind of camp prizes in there, like a Mexican Parma would have been great. Oh yeah, or like a spicy mug. You know, when they really camp it up, and it's like,
it was a bit of a lackluster.
It was a bit of a items. Yeah,
I think
we'll get to it, but the dental prize,
Oh,
that was for Jaden, right? And then accidentally, like, Feras got it. Like, clearly that... No, like... Jaden's got great teeth. And he said on his Jury Villa exit, he's like, oh, fuck, I can't wait to brush my teeth. And I was like, there you go. They knew.
They knew. Oh, it was so funny. Feras was so salty. But he was like...
salty.
He was like, I was the, most dogged. It's not fair. But I was like, there are other people who literally just left with nothing.
It was very like he was entitled to a steak. I'm like, sorry, it's not how it works. You don't just wish to the survivor gods, which is production, that there's like a steak for you.
Yeah. And it was just only a few people got food, and then he got to brush his teeth, and then everyone else got nothing. Like, what? Brushing your teeth is not bad. And some mints.
If you make something your personality, like John with the Mexican parma and Shawnee with the marks, like, if you make that your personality, they'll will fucking do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
what would be your personality?
I don't know. I'd get there and I'd just be like,
yeah,
Big Mac. No,
okay.
I don't know. I would make it something really specific so that they put it in the prize.
But also, like, do you really want to be known for like
absolutely not.
Piece of food?
No.
Yeah.
What would your
mine be?
Yeah.
I mean, like, Mexican parma, I'm like
honestly,
big
it's a
fan.
good,
yeah. But I also don't want people thinking that I'm just like a big Johnny fan.
Yeah, true. It's kind of claimed now.
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah,
claimed.
maybe they're steering clear of that, and that's why it didn't happen.
Maybe.
I don't know. Raymond pays $400 for some popcorn, and lemonade.
Yeah,
which, I mean, look, it's worth its weight in gold later on, but at the moment, you're like, excuse me.
I mean, I wasn't. I mean, because I'm just so big-brained. But clearly, like, as soon as you're seeing that popcorn, you should know that there is an advantage in it, right?
You reckon?
Yes.
Yeah, true. It was comically oversized.
Yes. They've done that with, like, the jar of lollies.
True. The cookie jar. You're right.
Like, it is classic Survivor AU to
you know this because you work in TV. So you'd be like, it's a big glass jar so they can get the camera on the little scroll.
And a little behind the scenes, my guess is that I reckon producers told Raymond that you can't take it back to camp. You have to eat it here, which is why we see him eating so much, because they clearly wanted him to find it at the auction.
The thing, yeah. True, but I don't think anyone... Oh, no, Feras brought some mints back.
He brought some mints back, but they weren't allowed to take the popcorn back. Because he didn't finish it. Like, he left the auction, it was like half full. Which makes sense.
Aren't they starving? Like, what?
But I reckon there was probably like, how much popcorn in there? Like a large box at the cinema.
Popcorn does absolutely nothing for me.
It is literally
a waste of
air.
Space.
Like what is the point? Yeah, no.
Something I would have bid for was the fried chicken. Aileen one.
Just go $500.
Fuck,
who cares?
$500 straight away.
What are you going to get?
Give me the fried chicken.
Yeah, done.
Yum. Kirby gets a pizza and JLP can't help himself to a little slice.
Oh my God, that was so hot.
It was a bit hot. Caroline gets some brownies. Palmer and a beer, a steal for Valeria, $1.20.
And no one wanted the beer.
No, I was like, I'll fucking have it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get that. I think, like, if you were starving and exhausted, a beer is probably going to, like, send you over the edge. But
yeah.
Like, Feras was like, I feel bad bidding on it because I don't want the beer.
Yeah.
And then Valeria bid on it and didn't drink the beer.
Could have at least... Yeah, anyway. I'm surprised someone didn't want it, but it was cute watching JLP have a cheeky beer. We've covered the steak drama of it all, but we get the Survivor Dental Clinic, and then we see Raymond find a cheeky little note.
Slayyymond. We are in our Slayyymond era this whole week.
It's Slayyymond's week. Back at camp, Feras is like, anyone want a mint? Raymond opens the advantage, and it's the ultimate vote. So basically, you get the power to choose who you want to go home if and only if every single vote lands on you, which this is chaos.
It is chaos.
It's perfect.
When I first heard it, I was like, this is the worst advantage I've ever heard. Like, it isn't like... The idea is that it's meant to be an idol, right? Like, it negates all the votes at you, and therefore, you know, the next majority goes. But with this one, it's like, it's technically more powered because you just need one vote, your vote, to send the person home. But the whole reason that people split the votes is because they're worried that an advantage or an idol like this exists. So how do you... Like, no one is ever going to do a unanimous vote at the merge.
And that's why I love this advantage. Is it an advantage? Yes, turned out to be. But like this twist, loved it because of that. Because like we're seeing with like US Survivor, it's all about earning back your vote and like a million different, just chucking layers back on it. But I like this because it's unexpected. Everyone's normally worried about the idols. This time it's like all you have to do is like somehow convince everyone to vote for you. So risky, but then the reward is like huge.
Yeah.
It's actually, this one was a win for me, like a hit.
So a hit because it like actually pulls it off.
Yeah. But even if it didn't work, still would have been great, I reckon.
As in, like if Raymond went home.
Only because Raymond got it. I think if anyone else got this, they probably wouldn't have even tried to use it.
No, and therefore I don't think they would have shown it.
No, they probably would have just
edited it out.
Cut it out. Yeah. But the fact that Raymond got it, because like he says, he's at a position in his game where he's like, well, I better fucking start doing something fun now.
Yes, which I love. Like,
we stand a self-aware queen.
Yeah. No, but honestly, like the fact that he was able to really, I would say correctly, assess where he is in the game, how others are viewing him and what he needs to do to actually stand a chance to win. He was saying like, I would rather get voted out now than get to the end with a guaranteed 0 votes finalist. And I think that's great. I think everyone should be playing like that. Play to win. Don't play for second place.
Play for the screen time as well.
Seriously,
like that's part of the prize.
I mean, it was Raymond's
coming back.
Week.
Yeah. I would like already love to see Raymond on another season. Like just as a chaos agent.
I do wonder how he would be after because he was a fan. So like, but after playing and watching him, I wonder what, would he really change it up too much? Because I think his personality really leans into, how his game is played this season, which is like really kind of a bit passive. People seeing him as this like, younger brother, bit harmless, which is like, can be really positive. At the
start of the season, it was like borderline kind of bullying in a way. Like there was a lot of kind of like, I don't know,
he was kind
othering
of
happening,
like,
and I was like, ooh.
Joint with Kelly as well.
Yeah,
and
which
people had lots of feelings about Kelly, and then we're just seeing her and Raymond in kind of this same boat as really kind of outcasts.
Yeah.
But I think Raymond was self-aware and leaned into that and got like, and was, to these big alpha personalities like Feras, like, take me under your wing and I'll be your little bro hitman.
Well, I think he was very smart to tell Feras about the advantage, which is what he does next. Because Feras is the sort of person that's going to help him pull it off. And I do think to pull that off, you cannot be alone. Because if you just leave it up to everyone, of course they're going to split it. Because they split every vote.
Absolutely. But I also think telling Feras and then later Kirby and by extension Ree.
Oh my God. When they told Ree, we'll get there, but I had a little panic attack.
I think spreading that is obviously helpful because then, you're more likely to pull it off, as you said. But I think it also because the way that, this whole advantage plays out was like him, wanting to quit and playing on that. I don't know. For me, we can talk about it, but that kind of felt a bit icky to me. Like if I was playing with him, like I don't know that I'd be able to kind of cope with that. And so to spread the guilt around, or at least to say like, oh, it wasn't just me, it was also Feras and Kirby and Ree. But I think Ray obviously wants sole credit for this. He sees it as a big move.
Yes.
Even at Tribal, like Feras was saying like, oh, well done, Ray. Like Feras was, pretending that he didn't know.
Yeah. But he says later on, he's like, this is my move. Anyway.
Exactly.
It's 3 a.m. and Jaden and Kirby are hanging out. And she loves that he's flipped. She's like, great. She's a very good social player because she's kind of like cozying up to Jaden in this way where it's like,
so good.
Let's kind of make something happen. Now, I think she's really good at fostering relationships.
Yes.
And so now she knows that Jaden's love language is being included in the conversation.
It is.
He just wanted to be in on it. And so she's like, well, I can give you that.
Yeah.
And he's giggly and excited because he's finally going to be in on a blindside vote.
And this is, I think, Kirby where she shines. Like this exact moment where she can see someone in need of some level of kind of social connection in whatever way. Like, she did that with Scott as well. Like,
Yeah, she's emotionally intelligent.
Oh my God.
She's using it she's using it in a way where it like furthers her game, but like she's also maintaining likability.
It's quite brilliant what she's doing. You know, like I think she's made strategic errors. Like I think she'll make like sometimes the wrong choice, but like my God, she'll execute that wrong choice so well. You know, like it's the wrong path, but like God, she did it.
Yeah, and she'll do it smiling, and she's not fussed.
Yeah.
In the morning, Kirby tells Kitty that they're going for Caroline. So she's like, "Trust me, if I give you a name, and that name is Aileen."
No.
And this is when I'm like, "Oh fuck, it's all over for our girl." Unless she can like, you know, pull out another challenge win. Caroline doesn't know if she can trust Kirby. She's a little bit on the fence about it. She knows that taking out Aileen would cause chaos, which I'm like, yep, don't do it. Don't.
I know.
Immunity challenge is a fucking like balancing the little blocks into a pyramid.
Heart rate.
This one was fucking insane. This is the one where like Aileen was like 1 foot. Like she was like 1 foot away from winning.
You just know that Aileen, like that will haunt her.
Oh yeah. She's at home now being like, fucking.
And she can't even say like, I might, even if I got immunity, I would have been voted out next. Because like we've seen this game, there is no like predictability. You know, you survive a vote, like who knows what will happen.
Totally.
Your allies will change, your enemies will change.
All you have to do is just, get through the next one and God knows what's going to be
happening. And it's a new day.
Exactly.
I know, poor Aileen.
I was screaming at the screen at this point, like, ah.
Well, I was actually convinced she was winning because I was like,
Same.
oh, well, that's why it was like, you know, it was so obvious she's going, they're throwing us off and she gets, oh, wow, she's immune.
They did a good job of editing. Because at the time, I was like, God, they're really dragging out this challenge. But it was like good editing. Yeah. Because then Kitty was slow and steady and won the race.
I know.
Which was a little bit sad. But also, good on it. Kitty's rig is just insane.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
so jealous.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, she's cutting for Mardi Gras. Yeah.
She has. Back at camp, Feras has an exact boot order in mind, which I was like, okay.
Yes,
calm down. Kirby's flipping all over the place. She wants to band with the OG Titans. Kitty trusts Rhea and Kirby, but Caroline doesn't. Not fully anyway. And Mark is like, well, we don't have any truth serum, but we'll have to just trust him for that. And to me, that was like, is he revealing that the Australian government has access to truth serum and that they use it in diplomacy?
I forget that he's a diplomat until he says it.
Diplomat, but yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right. I
was like, they have access to the truth serum.
Yeah, and 5G.
Don't get me started on
microchips. No, you're onto something here. What's this podcast?
Exactly. Feras wants the tea from Caro. This was so funny. It's like, give me the name, and she's like, no names have come up, none at all. We've just been talking about Drag Race Down Under season 1. That Art Simone.
Talking about the Cringe
that
real
means
pod.
Nothing. Yeah, that's just what we've been talking about on the beach. No names have come up. How funny.
It's crazy. And we've got tribal council in an hour.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. And then Feras is like squinting. He's like, his eyeball is like twitching.
Yeah, his brain's
uncontrollably.
But like, that's the thing. I mean, I know it's a big kind of theme of Feras being able to read the room, but like, I think that was pretty obvious.
This is when he gets his HR boots on. He did it like, I think last week, where he's like, I'm going to cross-reference that. So then he goes back to Kitty. Kitty like pretty much confirms that something's up because she's also like, I don't know. Yes.
But I think actually, like, just going back to Kirby, aligning all these, well, not aligning, but like working with the OG Titans. Yeah. I think she actually did a really good job here because I don't know if it was editing or not, but we saw that her target was on Aileen. That was the start of the episode before the immunity challenge. A lot of the times we kind of see the real tribal council plan coming to fruition after the immunity challenge because they know who's immune. We're going to tribal tonight. This is what the plan is. But Kirby kind of laid the foundation before, and I think she could see the OG Titans forming, and she really wanted to, as we said, weaken Feras. And the fact that I think she got into the Titans early, I think that's it. I think it was just that she was first. I don't think the Titans are necessarily that against Feras or that for Kirby.
No, I agree. I think, I think they're just, trying to last.
Yeah. If Feras went to the Titans and said, hey, let's vote out like Alex or something, like maybe...
100%.
Yeah.
I reckon they would do it.
I reckon they would do it.
Might happen. There's still time.
Oh.
Ferris is like, let's dump on Mark. Ferris goes up to Kirby. He's like, hey, Kerbalicious. I was like, oh, here we go. And then we get to Tribal. And have you seen June Part 2 yet?
I have.
What did you think?
Oh, it was great. I saw it in IMAX.
Amazing.
It was
stunning.
Very good.
I loved it. But I was also like, the soundtrack is very similar to the soundtrack of Australian Survivor at the Tribal Council. It's like, brrr,
it is.
Brrr, and like, it's so Tribal Council.
Very dramatic.
And now I can't uncouple the two. And every time we go to Tribal, I'm like,
well, now I won't be able to uncouple it.
Yeah, the worms. Listen, next Tribal Council, like, pay attention to music.
Okay.
It is so unnecessarily epic because if you stripped it away, it's just a bunch of people sitting around a fire being like, oh yeah, JLP. I mean, yeah.
Mexican
farmer. Exactly. Caroline tells JLP that the Rebels could absolutely take out another OG Titan tonight, and she's feeling very vulnerable. She's feeling very attacked. Valeria is so brutally honest, and I love it.
Yeah.
She has no fucking shits to give.
Yeah.
And no poker face. They ask her questions and she's like, yes, I play a good game. Everybody here plays shit game. Next question. Like, she's so fucking good.
Oh, she just doesn't give a shit.
They want to flush Alex's idol out, don't they? So Kirby's smiling. I love Kirby's just got the smile on always at the time. She's like, yeah.
I know we call Feras a smiling assassin, but honestly, Kirby is the smiling assassin.
Totally.
That's the way that she gets people to do her bidding with a smile on her face. They all love her at the end of the day. It's quite something 100%. To watch.
Then Aileen comes out of nowhere with a question for JLP, which doesn't happen very often. She's like, hey, JLP, has an idol been played correctly this season? I don't think so. And he's like, no, not really.
That is such a read. Oh, so
it's
good,
so
Aileen.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. And the Kirby plan worked. Poor Aileen gets done. Our queen has fallen. Moment of silence for our queen. And it was a 7-4 for her. And like with a few mark votes.
Eileen's like attitude at the end, like immediately is just like, wow, no hard feelings.
It's congeniality.
Queen of Jury Villa.
Yeah.
She is just all class.
Yeah.
Like we stan in this house. Yeah.
And then this is where I get confused again, going back to my point at the start, because then we get Feras and Kirby going, oh, look, now there's no more wedge. And I was like, sorry?
Yeah, I don't quite get it because I think like I understand, Kirby. I understand getting rid of Aileen because you want to weaken Feras. I don't understand getting rid of Aileen because you want to get closer to Feras.
And it's not even, for me, it's not even about the move. It's like the edit. I'm like, if maybe they like introduced this last week or something, it would have made sense. But I was like completely, like I had no idea that Kirby felt that way about Aileen. Well, I didn't even think she wanted to work with Feras. I thought the whole point, like all the marketing is like, it's Feras v Kirby. Yeah. And now it's like, they wanted to be together this whole time, but Aileen was in the way. I was like, okay.
But I think if we had maybe a bit more explicit confessionals from Feras and Aileen talking about how they eventually want to get each other out, or just like, knowing that they're just working together until, a certain point.
Yeah.
That would have been good because then, even Aileen said, in a Jury Villa that like I was, was going to obviously eventually get out Feras. So they just got me before I got them, which makes sense. But Aileen wanting, Kirby wanting to get closer to Feras, getting rid of Aileen, like, I mean, if I'm Feras and my number one has just been voted out, like, I'm not happy about it.
No. But then he's playing it very cool. I think he's very conscious of the cameras and I think he wants to be portrayed in a certain way. I think he's obviously playing very well as well. Like, credit where it's due. But I think also, like, when shit doesn't go his way, he just goes, oh, yeah, I'm cool with it. And I'm like, no, you are not. You are pissed right now.
I know. But that's what you're meant to do. Yeah. You never want to close doors. And I think that's what he's done. But it's funny that, like, clearly we're wrong because Feras did want to work with Kirby right afterwards. Right? Now that Eileen's gone. And I think he even said, like, oh, better you get her out than me.
Yeah. And then when he said that, I was like, what? You were going to get her out? Like,
I mean,
at the end,
like, sure,
who
like
knows?
final 6 or something.
Yeah.
But like, that's in 4 or 5 votes. Like, what are we doing?
I think we call this episode No More Wedge.
No more wedge. Oh, so sad for Aileen.
Yep. So if someone could just pop that into
go
10
ahead.
play.
At the gay intern. I like how we say intern for anything social media related. Like, I can guarantee you an intern is not coming up with the titles of the episodes.
No, I know, but in my fantasy, that's the task that
just
they give
a gay
him.
intern. Yeah.
Like, Brent. Episode 17, also currently untitled, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
Starts at Tassie Day 34.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby's stoked. She pulled off her plan. She got Aileen out. No, there's no more wedge.
She's on cloud 9.
Exactly. She's on cloud fucking 9. She's all like, well, now I can work with Feras. You know, it's my plan all along. Got Aileen out of the way. Now we're going to work together.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Feras is like, yeah, look, I wasn't bothered. Aileen didn't really mean that much to me anyway. I needed a new 2IC anyway. And I'm like, excuse me.
Eileen means
how dare
everything
you? Exactly.
to everyone.
Exactly. I was a little bit disappointed with this. But
Yeah.
again, I think this is him just playing up to the cameras. Like he knew what was going to happen all along kind of thing.
But I think like it actually did show because he does go on to work with Kirby.
Yeah.
So I think
he's flexible.
he's flexible, but I think maybe it's just Kirby maybe having a correct read on Feras, knowing that like she didn't go for Raymond, which
True.
was also like, you know, his 2IC, maybe even more loyal than Aileen.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a reason that perhaps knowing that like if I get Aileen out now, Feras will still work with me and it will actually free him up. Like she was right.
No, you need to play this game. You're like all over it with the strategy. They want to make a new alliance. Jaden, Kirby, Feras, and Rihanna. They concoct a plan around the well to get out Val. And I'm like, fuck. All right. Wasn't expecting this particular set of people, but fantastic. And that's why this season's so good, because you're like, all right, who are we working with now?
Yeah.
So good. Because remember back in the early days of Australian Survivor, it was like, oh, look, loyalties are my main focus. Mateship and loyalty and in the footy team. Because they used to just cast footy players.
Yeah.
And no one else.
There's not a... Oh, there was a footy player, Nathan. At the beginning.
He's gone.
Yeah. Bye.
I also love in this episode, is it when I think it's when Aileen gets kicked out or in her Jury Villa, she's like, I reckon Kirby's an AFL coach.
Oh my God,
And I was
yes.
like, bitch, you got it.
Yeah, so brilliant.
She is.
Yeah.
Did she not tell
Fully
anyone on
clocked.
that?
Apparently not.
What's with everyone like
it makes
hiding their professions?
It is
like,
it's so dumb. Like, why would you start the game like the first thing out of your mouth is a lie? Like, what? Like, don't you want to connect with?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't. And also, like, if people know I'm a
you are
coach.
spending 24/7 with these people. Yeah, no.
What does she talk about as like what she does?
I don't know. Maybe something else.
Anyway, it doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, poor Alex doesn't feel like he's part of the team at this point.
The poor
Which is
straight
kind of,
man.
it's kind of how I want him. I want him not
Crying.
actively a part of the game, but I just want him in those Speedos,
Yes.
just being miserable.
This I think, like, to all future cis straight white male players.
Know your
like,
place.
Know your place. Just watch Alex's game and just do that.
Yeah, sit around and look hot and don't do anything. But look,
And have
he
no
does
power.
activate in this episode.
Indeed.
And it carries over where he's like, now all of a sudden he's like got a bit of a mouth on him. Oh, he did kind of at the start of the season as well, when him and Kelly used to kind of go at each other.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
sometimes that made me uncomfortable.
And then Kelly saved him.
Yes.
For no reason.
Because we all know the reason. She wanted a piece.
Has no brain. What?
Yeah. So he doesn't feel like he's part of the game. Mark, Val, and the Karens want him, though, as a number. But he's a little bit like... It's very high school vibes, this whole episode, actually.
But kind of roles reversed, where it's like...
Yes.
The jock's
We love
the one
to
with
see
no
it.
friends. Yeah.
Kitty is still considering playing both sides. This is when I'm like... I'm decoupling Kitty from Caroline this week, where I'm like, I actually think Kitty's got some game and we're just not seeing it that much. I don't know.
I would love, like, Kitty to say something more explicit about, like, I want to separate my game from Carolyn.
If she does that, she's my new fucking fave.
Well, this is why I think maybe she's not winning, because if she were winning, we would be getting the whole, like, this, you know, we'd be getting how Raymond's whole arc this week has been about him, you know, showing his autonomy and really wanting to play independent. Like, that's what Kitty was trying to do. She did it unsuccessfully, but that's what she was trying to do. So I feel like if we were heading towards a Kitty, you know, win, we'd be getting that kind of frame. But we're not.
Yeah, I don't think we are either.
I know.
Strange things
I like
happened.
Kitty though.
Yeah, she's warming on me. Love you, girl. The immunity challenge is the hanging off a rope into the water once. This was perfectly designed to show off Alex's
oh my God
assets.
Just the hip thrust.
There was hip thrusting. There was a lot of wet gyrating in and out of the water.
It was very like, you know, hanging from the monkey bars at primary school, but like at the same time kind of like Barber Darkroom. You know what I mean? Like this apparatuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not that
I'll tell you,
ever
next
been in a
year we're
dark
getting
room.
the ball gag challenge. Luke George comes out. They're like, hang him up. Kirby's cheeky smile when Val drops out was hilarious. It was like Val drops out and it cuts to Kirby. She's like,
not very subtle.
No, not at all. Then their heads go full underwater. Love this. It's kind of like that one, because they've done that one to death where it's like they're under like a cage in the water. So it's like a fresh take on that.
Yes. I love a
into
bit
it.
of like waterboarding, you know? Like if they're not on the brink of death for every challenge, then it's not really a challenge, is it?
No. It's down to Rhea and Alex at the very end.
Also, wait, can we talk about how at the start of the challenge, Val, like that clearly all of them were just hanging off where the bar was kind of behind their knees and they were in that position. But Val had hers like on the back of her thighs, like a completely different position. Yeah. And she was fully just like asleep. Like she looked very kind of yoga mummy. Yeah, very tranquil. And I was like, ooh, this is a very exciting, interesting position, like, and strategy that she's done. But then she didn't win, so I guess not.
Yeah, the endurance ones are great because it's like, I don't know, I like how they're edited. It's usually just like pretty speedy. It's like,
I always have my predictions as soon as I see the challenge bit. You know, it's some kind of endurance challenge of like, all right, this will really, you know, favor the big muscly, you know, men with upper body strength, or this will favor the like like, you know, the kiddies or the really skinny.
Well, Ree is proving herself as an endurance challenge beast, especially with this one. And I'm a little bit like, tone it down, girl. Yeah. They're onto you.
Yeah. Well, we see as soon as she doesn't have immunity next episode, Alex wants her out. Like, so just a bit of a threat.
Back at camp, Feras tells us that at this tribal, everyone's mixing up the teams. So people are sitting at different tables at lunchtime. Kirby thinks Kitty's with them. She's confident. Mark sees danger. He knows the alliances have shifted, some stuff's up. He's like a 5-5 tie at this point is the worst case scenario. I'm like, all right.
Not bad.
Jaden gets a bit shitty now at Caroline about how she's cooking the rice. I love this. He's like, can you not put the coconuts in the rice? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, Lord Jaden. And he's like,
Jaden.
And then 2 minutes later, he's like, hang on, I've thought about that. That comment, it's actually really pissed me off.
Bro.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I'm actually a bit pissed off by that comment.
I actually kind of loved this from Jaden a little bit. Like he was just, you know, it was very... it was giving emotional intelligence.
It was. It was giving, you're wearing my jacket from last week.
Yes.
Like, I love the petty camp drama that actually, like, affects the game.
And Carolyn is, like, always getting caught up in it.
Oh, you just know she's ruling that roost mother hen style.
But I also, like, as much as I love it from Jaden, I also think that it comes from him just thinking that Survivor is about like who's chopping more coconuts.
Well, exactly. And this is what I love about this, because Caroline is playing hard. So she thinks that this little tantrum is like a sign that they know that they're voting for him tonight and there's a leak. But no, he's actually just being mad, baby. She then gets into a full Karen paranoia spiral. Alex confronts Feras about being left out. He's like, you guys went to the well that time? And I didn't come in. Feras is like, whoa, one bloody well chat. It was one time.
I mean, I can really relate to Alex.
I would be fuming. If people went to the well, I would just start crying at the camp. Yeah. I
mean, I don't know if it's enough reason to fully just flip on them. But I think fair enough to be upset, and also bad on Feras for handling it that way, because it couldn't have gone worse, that conversation. It literally ended with just like, all right, well, I guess there's nothing more to say, and then both of them just leave Alex flipping on him.
Raymond doesn't do too well here at keeping the plan tight-lipped. He's pretty obvi. And this is where we get a bit of a setup for the next episode, where he's like, I've got this advantage. It might not be the right time right now, but I'm thinking about using it. And he's only got 3 tribals to use it for. Yep. So this is the second one.
And I thought this is just like such a bluff, because I was like, how on earth is this advantage going to be used?
I was like, I hope they do.
I thought like he's going to try and fail.
Same. That's exactly where I was at. All right, this was a juicy fucking tribal. So firstly, Aileen walks in looking so hot.
Oh my God, so hot.
Done.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of these little silk numbers with the cutouts she's got in the bags.
Well, she's got, I mean, how many episodes have we got left, I assume?
I don't know.
She would 100% Aileen has planned for like being the queen of jury. Like, definitely.
Alex says his game is fluid and that, you know, you got to cut ties. And then Kirby's like, nah, Alex, you're a floater. Not like me. I'm flexible, but I'm a leader, and you're just a little fucking floating turd. Yeah. She's so calm and cool. I'm obsessed. Oh. And he's like, "What? What's Feras then?" And Feras is like, "Oh, well, I'm kind of flexible, but I'm kind of a floater." And he kind of talks his way around it. And then Alex goes, "Feras, your asshole must get so jealous from all the shit that you're talking."
It is high school.
I was like, "What?" So good.
Alex is not like equipped to take on either of them.
No, but I'd love to see it.
Any of these reading challenges.
Yeah, this reading challenge was a bit of a miss from Alex, but
he
like,
was torn to shreds.
Love it. Do you think some producers put him up to this? Like, you should go if you
and fed in this like awful line.
Maybe.
I don't
know. Either way, love that you're activated. Then the whispering starts. The whispering. Mark is like fucking just to Raymond. He's like, vote Jaden, and he'll go.
And that's
what
it.
You want. And that's all it fucking took.
That's all it took.
And I love that he's getting whispers, you know, in all directions. But it's like, no. He's like, the one from Mark's the one I'm going to do.
Props to Mark, because Ray next episode says I flipped because Mark, you know, whispered sweet nothings in my ear, and it works. So you've really got to
Mark is looking good, I've got to say.
He's like
aesthetically.
Yeah.
He's like really like trimmed down from the start.
Yeah,
just the beans and rice are doing well.
Like if he was whispering in my ear, who am I voting for, Daddy?
Wouldn't
how do you spell
much.
Alex? Yeah.
Like, hey, how do you spell Jaden?
Hey, Raymond.
And then, poor Alex. Alex plays his idol for Val, which I was like, oh, baby.
But like, that's, you know, and good on Feras and the other rebels for correctly reading that Raymond had flipped and switching the vote.
Kirby knows. Kirby fucking knows what's going on.
And you know who doesn't know what's going on?
Alex.
Ree.
Ree has not had a clue.
The whole game. The poor thing. I mean, literally, they are all mouthing Alex. How did everyone else get the memo to vote Alex, but Ree didn't? And I understand maybe she wasn't right next to them, but like, girl, like baby girl, come on, let's wake up a bit.
Poor babe.
I mean, in her defense, I don't think this is true, but one possible reason that she voted incorrectly, or not incorrectly, well, yes, incorrectly, is that she thought, well, look, maybe if, you know, both idols are played, that she needs, you know, Feras plays his idol, you know, on himself or whatever, like both idols are played, she needs to just like throw a vote. But I mean,
maybe like a plan C.
Like a plan C.
Was that,
but I don't
so
think
hers was the Val vote. Is that right? She fucked it.
Yes.
There was one
Yes,
Val
that's right.
vote.
Yes. No, the one Val vote was Ree, and then it was...
Jaden got 5 and Alex got 4.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Not great.
What are we calling this episode? We need a name for it.
I mean, Slayyymond, because this is his first.
Yeah, this is where
it starts.
Awaken the Slayyymond. Episode 18. Yeah. Episode 18 starts at the Tussie camp. Chaos unfolds after Raymond flipped to work with Mark. And Raymond goes, you know what? I like a bit of chaos because I'm a rebel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They should have put, every time someone says rebel, they need like a guitar sting. Like, in the morning, Alex and Valeria are being very camp and pretending to order breakfast.
I did like that, actually.
Yeah, it was cute.
That was cute.
And then we get some sexy Baywatch shots of Alex just jumping in the water. I was like, okay.
It's
sure.
Crucial to the story.
It is crucial to the story, yeah.
And also, it was funny, like, seeing... It wasn't funny, it was quite devastating. But seeing, like, you know, Raymond talk all this shit up in confessionals, and then we cut to him, like, fully depresso, emo, in the hammock, like, crying, like, not wanting anything. This was not acting. Like, 100% he was feeling this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
Raymond is still thinking about when's he going to make the big move? And the popcorn advantage. We get a little flashback to him telling Feras about it. So we remember that, yes, Feras is in on it.
Yep.
And he also reminds us that it's the last time he can use it. So this is when I'm like, oh, he's going to fucking use it. Because why else are they telling us all this?
Exactly.
He begins acting miserable. This is so fucking good when he's just like, no, I'm not hungry. And Caroline's like, mum, being like, oh, Raymond, dinner's ready. No, I'm not. I don't want it.
It was so sad.
He's like rolled over in the...
No, we've all been there, you know. Great. Yeah.
And
the fact that he wasn't eating or drinking, like, I think it's fair enough that people were like buying it, right?
Yeah,
you would have bought it.
Oh, I would have totally bought it.
Yeah.
Some of the acting later on was questionable, but yeah, at this point,
come on.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The rest of them are like gossiping about it, like, how's Raymond? Like, oh, I don't know, Raymond's going. It's not doing well. And also, like, the whole Scott quit situation really helps this situation because it's like we're all talking about mental health and like, you know, maybe some of us don't want to be here. It's like,
are you okay?
Exactly. It was like, are you okay there? But like, gotcha.
Like, yeah. And I think actually you're right. Like, because Scott would have it was only a few votes prior. And so this is fresh on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
So the fact that, like, you know, Raymond is really explicitly saying, I don't want to be here. I'm really struggling. Like, what are you meant to do?
Exactly. The reward challenge is for a high tea picnic.
Oh, and so camp.
So camp. High tea at the Langham. And they had to, like, slingshot coconuts at each other's names. So I love this one.
And also crawl in under mud as well.
Yes, they got very muddy, which was a bit hot.
Alex looked so hot at the end of it.
He did.
Not to objectify him, but
no, that's what we're here to do.
We've been doing.
Like, have you heard this podcast before? So they have to knock each other out, just the names on little tiles. Alex wins, looking very hot and covered in mud. And, of course, he gets to pick some people to go along with him. So first he picks Val, which I'm like, yeah, cute. Then Feras. And then JLP goes, come on, one more. And he picks Kitty. So I'm like, oh, this would, like, if there was ever a reward like this, I would just purposely not win because I don't want to be in that situation we have to pick.
I know.
It would suck.
I mean, the picking, usually the idea is, I mean, Alex said it in his confessional, which was smart, which was like, you want to bring people that you're aligned with, but it is also about who do you leave back at camp.
True.
Because essentially you just want any conversational plans that are coming about, you want to make sure you or your closest ally is a part of it. So usually you leave people that you trust back at camp and you take some people who you think, I don't really want them to be creating a plan without me.
Yeah. Alex puts a mate on the end of every sentence and it drives me insane. He's like, I'm going to take Valeria, mate. Thanks, mate. I'm like, oh, okay.
Such a bro.
Alex's choices aren't lost on Kirby. She's like, it's going to take more than sugar to sweeten up to Feras. And on the reward, Feras confirms this because he's like, I'm not buying it. It's going to take more than a cucumber sandwich to get in my good graces.
I would actually love a high tea as a reward.
Really?
Yeah. So when he describes just like scones and jam, and I'm like, nice.
It looked good.
But then the sandwiches as well. You got some carbs, you got some protein, you got some sweets.
Was there booze? There was some champagne, wasn't there? I think so.
I think they had it was like, it
You
looks like
wanna
red wine, but I don't know if
yeah.
it was red wine. It might have been like cola or something.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
You want to get pissed with people because I feel like that really bonds you, and then you can be
Yes.
like, remember that time we went on the spa day?
But honestly, like if it's a really good reward, it can sometimes if it'll take you out of the game and you're just creating
Helicopter
memories.
ride
Yes,
to the fucking spa. Yeah,
that
that's the one you want.
So
Yeah.
bonding. Yeah.
So on the reward, Feras is laser focused on Raymond's advantage. So he's like, I don't fucking need this. So it's a bit of a whatever. And then back at camp, we get a hilarious scene with Caroline yelling at Raymond like a teenage boy. Are you hungry, darling?
Aww. I mean, you're making fun, but I loved Carolyn here. It was so
I
sweet.
loved it. I thought it was cute. I just thought it was, funny. It's funny as a viewer knowing what's going to happen.
I know.
Because he's not actually upset. But I love that she thought that he was. She got really mumsy in like a good way.
Yeah,
in
it
this
was
episode.
so sweet, so mumsy. But that's why I kept thinking this is actually going to be quite devastating, to her and to other people. Like people who, especially after Scott. I don't know. I just felt I felt really icky this whole episode watching all of it.
Oh, really?
I thought
it was a bit of fun.
I know. Look, I know most people, everyone on Twitter is like, oh my God, wow, such a big move, so good. And I'm like, oh, I don't know,
you're right.
Felt a little beyond the
do you know
game.
what? It was manipulative, so it might backfire next week. Who knows? Like, people, that Caroline be like, you fucking little bastard, I was genuinely worried about you. Well, Could happen.
I think Raymond is happy to to
go out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's done a big move,
Yeah. So at night, Feras and Ray bring Kirby in on the plan, and they decide on Valeria. Endurance of your patience is the challenge. It's like, this challenge was fucking insane. It was the 3-layered puzzle with the ball. I was like, this is impossible. I would love to know how long they were out there for doing that.
I guess in an endurance, they tell you, you've been out here for, 1 hour, but I don't know with these ones. But I would like a little clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex keeps coming for JLP's gig because he's like, oh, I like to be nice and gentle with my balls. And I'm like, Alex, not your job.
It's not cute.
JLP does that and it's good. You do that and it's very annoying.
And it's assaulty. Yeah. It's harassment.
I feel harassed. And then he decides to rip his shirt off. And I'm like, okay, you can stay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You've earned your place.
And Kirby won this. And I would have just lost my shit and just given up.
You'd have been the Raymond
hard.
who was just giving up.
Yeah. But also that was part in parcel with his. He couldn't win because he needed
That's true.
the votes on him.
That's true. But I don't know. He was just so convincing.
Yeah, true.
It was so convincing that I'm like, this is real.
And because it was in character with him as a bit of a stroppy teenager.
Exactly. It was method acting.
It was.
Yeah, she's coming for that actor award.
Exactly. Back at camp, Feras says that him and Ray should win Oscars. Kirby brings Rhea into the plan. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, fuck no. Do not bring... if someone's going to fuck this up for you, it's Rhea. When has she gone along with a plan?
Never.
Do you know what I mean?
But he should have known that, Kirby is going to tell Rhea no matter what, because Kirby wants Rhea as just this, ride or die, completely loyal person that, when you tell Kirby something, you're telling Rhea something.
Yeah, right. Still, I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was Danger Zone. But it was good because it, added a bit of an element of will they pull it off?
But I also think it's helpful because Raymond was such a non-threat at that point.
Yeah.
If anyone else got the advantage, I think people would have thought, oh, well, this is a great opportunity to just get them out.
Totally. And so, but then Rhea's a bit nervous about it. First, she's like, oh my God, Raymond's acting crazy. She's shocked. Then she's a bit nervous about if they can pull it off. And then that makes Kirby nervous. And I'm like, abort. And then Raymond tells us that he wants credit for this move. It's going to be his move, no one else's. And I'm like, all right, good luck with that. At Tribal, Kitty talks about the cycles of the alliances. She's like, this week it's this one and tomorrow it's thing, which I'm like, yes, that's true. But she's one of the few that has a ride or die kind of thing. So that'll be interesting moving forward. Feras and Raymond lay it on thick. This bit, I thought it was a bit overkill when Feras is like, look, every tribal we've done a blindside, but I think this tonight could be the night where we all vote together. Don't you think, everyone? This could be that. And I'm like, dude, like so obvious.
It was so obvious. And when he was like, oh, everyone, you can't deprive him of getting every vote. Is everyone voting?
Every
Make
single
sure
vote?
you're
If
everyone.
one isn't on him, So
it was way too much.
It was a lot.
Yeah, Raymond he just tapped into his inner like depression.
Yeah. But also back to Scott, if I was sitting there and we saw how Scott left and it was like, it was unanimous. There was no vote because it was unanimous that he wanted to leave. So when we're off to the voting booth, I'd be like, hang on, why am I writing down Raymond's name, but I didn't have to write down Scott's name?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, something is fucking up.
Well, I reckon like, I think they've kind of implied this, but I think Raymond would have said, I want to quit, but I really want to be voted out. Like, that's just my survivor dream.
Okay,
like, I really want to be
They
voted out.
should have showed that. Yeah.
They should have showed it.
Yeah,
but I'm
you're
just
right.
assuming it was that. But I would.
I'm a
But from
fan.
now, like, no one will ever be able to quit again by getting voted out. Like, no one in every future season.
Because everyone will be like, yeah, true.
I'm not going to get
something's up.
Slayyymond.
Yeah, I don't want to get Slayyymonded. Exactly.
Yeah, no.
But he fucking pulls it off. This
Yeah.
was iconic television. Also, out of nowhere, Kirby gives Ree the immunity necklace.
Yeah.
Smart move.
I mean, I wasn't quite sure. When they first kind of teased it in the
Yeah.
episode, I was like, oh, I think they're just throwing it out there as like, oh, like maybe Raymond's plan doesn't go off. Maybe Ree gets some votes, but Kirby might give it, blah, 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 blah. But I think it was like, it was interesting because I thought maybe it was, to stop in case anyone else was tempted to put a vote on Ree that now they couldn't. So maybe Kirby, I thought correctly read that maybe, Ree was going to get a vote or two and now they can't. But I also think that maybe, if Ree was thinking, because Ree was kind of paranoid at the beginning of the episode, because this is the first time she hasn't been without immunity, I think.
Yeah.
She's a challenge-based,
Yeah,
very used to being immune,
Well,
and
that's
now
why I was
she's
like,
not.
why are you giving it to her?
Yeah.
It was a strange move. But also, it was great because then I was thinking, well, Raymond's the only one that decides. And yes, he's like had people help him make this move work, but I'm like, he still could like fuck shit up, and he could have put Kirby's name down. And
Exactly.
That would have been fucking iconic if he did
why-
that. I mean, I would have been furious, but also,
I kind of wouldn't because that what a move. Like what it got Kirby to help him pull off the move against
then
her.
that would have
it'd be
been
so good.
I thought that could happen at that point.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He goes along. He's loyal to the arrangement, and he votes out Val. Val handles it gorgeously.
so good.
She
Yeah.
does like a drag race exit. It's like a very like. She's like, bye, and like flicks her hair out. It's like she's got a little line. It's like she's got her line prepared, She sashays away beautifully. Oh, what a week. Maybe
Another hottie on the jury.
Another hottie on the jury. What are we calling this episode? Maybe Are You Okay?
Oh yeah. Oh, it just makes me so sad.
Popcorn something? I don't know.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Something about winning an Oscar. Best Supporting Actor. Did you watch the Jury Villa eps?
No, I've only seen Eileen's.
They're cute. Basically, I'll give you a rundown.
Please.
Eileen was first at the party. She looked hot. She got the villa to herself.
How
How good?
It's so good. I wish like we had a scene of her. Like we saw her like eating dinner by herself and having fun. I would have loved to see her kind of like losing her mind a bit and just start like having conversations with all the empty chairs around her, having a food fight.
She even says, she's like, I'm so happy I'm here on my own because I've been around people for like 30-something days.
And she's just
So good.
journaling
Yeah.
all day.
So cute.
Like,
Jaden's was like him being like, I just want Coke, no sugar. It's like, I haven't had a Coke, no sugar for so long.
my God.
And then they give him one and he's like, whoa. He's like, I drink a litre of this shit every day. It's like, whoa, slow down on the Coke, no sugar.
Okay.
And Val's like, taking me to the spa.
Yeah.
I want the Tim Tams. Give me the spa. And then she opens a drawer full of Tim Tams and she's like, oh. It's like the first time you've seen her be genuinely excited about something, which is fun.
So good.
And then there's a very camp scene where Val and Aileen get facials together.
Oh,
and they do a
of
little bit
course.
of like goss chat. And they both think that Ree needs to do something big or else she's not getting any jury love.
Oh.
They're like, if she votes out Kirby or something, then maybe I'll give her some
Wow, she's
time.
getting some hate.
She's getting snubbed already.
Yeah.
But like,
No,
course.
Good. I love that kind of content with Jury Villa. Like, I love a good, like, you know, facial moment.
Of course, Jaden's not there because that would be way too girly for
That
him
is
to be
way too
involved.
girly, yeah. But I do like kind of getting a sense of where the jury's heads are at. But this is how, like, it kind of sets the tone. Like, what if someone comes in, the next juror, and is like, oh, I love Rihanna, she's so good. Like, you know, Aileen and Val are not going to let that slide. Like, they're going to convince that person, no, Rhea's shit.
Exactly.
So it's you really, the early jurors, you really got to make sure that they're on your side.
It's true. Michael McDermott, what a pleasure having you here this week.
Been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Where can our listeners stalk you on the socials?
Oh, I mean, if you want, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at fake Michael McD.
I like that because it's like,
not the real.
is she fake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the answer is yes. I'm very fake. Everything you've just heard, completely fake.
Thanks, Joel. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye. So fun chatting with Michael this week about Australian Survivor Titans vs Rebels. I'll be back again next week with a special guest. Until then, make sure you're subscribed in your feed. Chuck us a follow over on Instagram. It's the Cringe is Real Pod. Or on Twitter, it's Cringe is Real Pod. I'll see you next time.